Yeah, obviously, like I think last time we played them in Perth, we did a great job defensively and just couldn't score in the second half. And I just want to give the girls great credit for holding Perth to 74 points. And I know everyone's had to do like short turnaround games and like travel and stuff like that. So I know that obviously, their short turnaround probably played a little bit like fatigue, but everyone has to do it. But the credit to the girls for defensively sticking to the game plan. And we've had I'll be honest, we've had some tough practices this week to get us back to this point because we're on the brink of that playoff run. So I give all credit to the players for bouncing back after a couple of tough days at practice.
You're pulling some faces there. I guess to be able to perform the way you did tonight and grind out that win and then finish it in style like that, what was the feeling just perform it out of your head?
I was actually glad that we didn't have to go into overtime, honestly. So glad it went in, but I don't know. I don't even know. Just threw it up and it went in, and yeah, game's over. But I mean, we played really well from the start. I think we threw the first punch and then were consistent for the whole game, which we were trying to find. Like we were struggling to find throughout games, but like you guys said, we had hard practices and stuff, and I think that kind of momentum went into the game tonight, which was really good today.
Was there a moment as it was flying towards the ring where you knew it was going to go?
No, I didn't know it was going in. I honestly just threw it.
It looked good. It looked good coming out of your hand.
Yeah.
Were you pretty confident about halfway?
It looked good coming out. I was just worried that she wasn't going to get it up in time. I was like, she's like going to out dribble like the bloody shot clock. But yeah, it looked good coming out of her hand. Yeah.
To get a win in a game like that, like you need these wins now to get rewarded for that effort and that performance, especially using the players you've seen. What's that going to do for this group?
Yeah, and I think I speak to them all the day as like nobody cares who's out for us. As like the other teams don't really like care, nor should they, and we can't care. So obviously we want like Sarah and Jade back, but we've got to have who's here, who's present, and who's on the floor. And so being able to play this way without like those two shows the depth that we have and the talent that we have. And I've preached to them since the other two went down that I still have great confidence with who we have, that we can still win basketball games. We have enough in that locker room that we can continue to play at a high level because of the personnel that we've recruited, but we need everybody. And obviously it was a great for Nards tonight, but I'm thinking Z, Tage, Caddy with 11 rebounds, everyone played their part, and that's what it's going to have to be for us. And so we still keep ourselves alive, but we've also got still a tough road ahead.
Girls, is that the biggest turnaround you've ever coached? From you started the Sydney game, which was a pretty ordinary outing, to turn around and beat a team like that. That's sitting there watching it. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I think, as I said, I think it gets back to our practice habits that we've had this week. And as I said, it's sometimes I'm not easy to play for. I'm going to hold you accountable. We set it standard. When those standards dip, that comes in with the big bat. But they always respond in the right way, not probably at the time do they like it, but afterwards with the score, maybe they do like it. So we'll have to continue those habits along the way. But yeah, huge turnaround. I thought I was really disappointed obviously in the Sydney game with our lack of effort. I thought we were just behind a lot of the game. But also today is that crowd was awesome. The noise that they created and the buzz that they created, I think it was our biggest crowd of the season. That really makes a difference, and you can feel the energy on the court.
Nuts, Maddie's been getting a lot of press lately. So
Maddie.
this is
Maddie.
a good way to put it back.
Yeah,
Is the
basically.
second sister?
Yeah, just to show I'm the older one. I'm the better one.
She's the
No,
second
okay.
sister, not the first sister.
Exactly.
No, we've spoken a lot about you gaining confidence and finding your feet this season.
Mhm.
What's grown and changed for you to feel confident in taking that shot? And how does it fuel your confidence moving forwards?
I think it helps when you go in and put extras and being consistent with that. So I think at trainings being consistent with putting extra shots and getting in rhythm and stuff. So then when it comes to games, I can put that what I did at training, put it into the game. So just being consistent with what I do, get extra shots up, doing it at training, going at pace at training. So when it comes to game day, it's not new to me. So yeah, just doing that and knowing that each person in the team needs to step up because we've got players down. But yeah, just being consistent.
And girls, Z held harm to only 2
Yeah, I think I think Z is definitely like our anchor at the defensive end. Just her ability to be able to move both ways and switch onto guards, but also be physical and bump and then box out. And obviously there's the height differential, but Z is our engine that runs our defense. That's where to me it starts and stops. Obviously we've got to have great ball pressure, but Z's IQ and torque behind the ball sets a tone for us defensively. And so when she starts that way, and I think Z gets up for some of those matchups like the Mackenzie Holmes and the Hahn, she really takes that to heart of wanting to do a great job. It really fuels us, not defensively, yes, but also helps us offensively because we get those continuous stops. And Hahn's probably one of the hardest people to guard in this league right now.
Today, I think one of the best defences I've seen against Emily Mayer. Was that a big part of the plan today?
Yeah.
She seems to be such a barometer for them.
Yeah, obviously she's a great player, and has a great engine that doesn't stop all day. I think she could play 5 overtimes and not still be tired. But obviously keeping her off the glass is number one. But we've had probably the game plan the last 2 games is probably against Perth really worked in our favour, and Nards has been a big part of that, and trusting her with that matchup and the schemes that we put in and how we play against that is that's a credit to Nards at both ends of the floor, being able to follow that and do that.
It's huge.
Anyone on Zoom?
Yeah, hey guys, just Seth from AAP. Nard, I've just got a couple of questions for you, if that's all good.
Yep.
We heard Paul just speak a little bit about the injuries, but how have you, just from a player's perspective, viewed the injuries and how the side kind of dealt with that whole?
I think just not moving on, but just doing what we have to do. We can't really dwell on them being injured and being we have players down. We just kind of move on, which we've been doing. They're obviously doing their rehab, doing whatever they can to get back on the court, so they're still part of the team and stuff like that. But I don't know, just working hard at training like we can, and just figuring ways how we can still score and play how we play with them down as well. But it shows that you put the work in and you work hard, that you can do anything you can. So we did that today, which was good.
What was kind of the message from Paul this week? You said it was a pretty hard week of training. What was kind of the message there?
I think just playing hard. Just when we played Sydney, our effort and heart wasn't really there, but I think we did that from the very get-go today. But just putting that effort and just working hard. We kind of lack trying to get points, so we did a good job with getting onto the boards and stuff like that. And I think our defense is really good when we play against Perth and we hold them to 74 or whatever it was. But yeah, just finding ways to score, which I think we did that, and our best defense is our best offense, so that helps as well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. That's all I have.
Anyone else on Zoom?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. You can put in, we only shot 3 free throws to
better not.
17.